London, one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. It is a place known for iconic landmarks such as Big Ben, Buckingham Palace and the London Eye. Visitors are drawn to these busy attractions, but there is so much more to London than this romantic classic image that many have come to associate with it. Camden, for instance, is a borough of northwest London that is constantly rebelling against the city's prim and proper past. Its lively culture is centred around music, art and personal expression, which is represented through live music, graffiti murals and, of course, the world-renowned Camden Market, London's fourth most popular tourist destination. However, Camden hasn't always been a hub for the arts. It embodies an industrial past that goes back hundreds of years. Up until 1780, Camden Town had only been known as a small village at the fork where the roadways to Hampstead and Highgate diverged. From the late 1700s up until 1850, Camden was developed into a middle-class suburb. The Regent's Canal opened in 1820 and spurred the development of warehouses and factories along its banks. The canal enabled goods to be moved more easily from the Midlands to London. The opening of the Birmingham Railway in 1837 and later the Northern London Railway in 1850 further encouraged industrial development in Camden. The district's staple industry was piano manufacturing. Other industries included wine merchants and gin distillers, which covered 20 acres on either side of the canal. The expansion of these transportation systems in Camden spurred innovation and industrialisation. However, during the World War II, the area faced economic decline, especially after the bombing of the railway.
You look at a place like this during World War II, and you know that all of London is just being bombed everywhere. So Camden Town got quite a bit, and the tube station got bombed. They said, oh, well, don't worry about it, it's just Camden Town. So it's a kind of way in which you can see that the rest of London didn't take Camden Town very seriously.
Similar to the rest of London, Camden quickly began to recover after its World War II-induced decline. Camden had an important factor that the rest of London was lacking: its thriving live music and nightlife culture. A unified and artistic community stemmed from these musical roots, which ultimately fueled Camden's recovery, and this community continues to grow and evolve throughout Camden.
So there was stuff happening, very much post-war, and it was a bleak area, but they loved music because it lifted them.
What makes Camden to be very unique and rare, I think, is the music, scenario and the history as well.
You study some more subtle strands and realize that the reason the punks so very much enjoyed working here in Camden Town and expressing themselves in very individual ways is precisely because there was that industrial kind of clunkiness at base. And they kind of picked up on that. That was almost like a badge that they wore. Before the music that I knew came in the 60s and the 70s, there was a very interesting musical strand going on because there were lots of piano factories. So what you actually had in Camden Town was a manufacturing base place where they were making furniture and pianos.
The entire central area of Camden Town was an industrial site. As nightlife culture began to flourish, warehouses and factories were replaced by music venues. One major example of this shift occurred in the Dingwalls timber yard.
There were funny shops that were second-hand furniture up towards the canal. And at the canal, there was a place called Dingwalls, and it was a place that, it stored timber, really. That was the name of the company. Big, and so there wasn't any music up there.
In 1973, Dingwall's timber yard rebranded as Dingwall's Dance Hall and opened up on Camden Lock. At the time, most bars closed at 11 p.m, but Dingwall's was open until 2 a.m. They began to feature live performances for up-and-coming musicians. Members of the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, and more would frequent there as both performance and audience members. The area began to attract more and more artists and musicians, making Camden at the centre of London's gig scene.
Lots of people could test their careers here by going to pubs and seeing if they could gig there, like at the Dublin Castle. And that's what Amy Winehouse did. She went to the Dublin Castle in these places and they absolutely loved her.
Music became an integral role in Camden's culture, and for that reason, Camden Town became home for musicians, regardless of how established they were.
The music culture in Camden is amazing because it's also versatile. So you find a lot of punks, you find a lot of rocks, or you find a jazz musician, you find a blues musician. So, and you find people that in the middle, they don't even know what they want to play or sing, and they are in Camden because it's, as I said before, it's a free place. So you find yourself kind of loose in a place that you can just express yourself the way you like.
Personal expression flowed through Camden Town's music, and this expression quickly infiltrated into fashion. Style and a way of presenting oneself became very significant in Camden Town because it was a tool people used to portray a sense of individualism and flair. There were many places throughout Camden that promoted the music and fashion culture, such as the Camden Market. The Camden Market emerged in March of 1974 as a small arts and crafts fair behind Dingwall's Dance Hall, selling antiques, jewellery and crafts. The market started with only 16 stalls and today is home to over 1,000 stalls and shops for music, fashion, food and art. Camden Market acted as a launchpad for many young designers, and that legacy still lives on today, with traders catering to the mod, rocker, punk, retro and bohemian music scenes still very popular in Britain, and these music scenes inspired the fashion scenes.
I think it's important to fuse fashion and music together because, I mean, that's already a marriage made in heaven. It's been that way from back in the days anyway. For example, a performer will go on stage, they'll have to look the part, not just sound the part, and that's where the fashion part comes in as well.
Over time, Camden transformed into a place of leisure and retail capital due to the Camden Market's success.
The market started small but got bigger and bigger, and the virtue of the way in which the Camden Market developed was that it was on a site that could expand. So it started just at the lock and expanded up into the stables area and so on. It was exotic, and I think that might be one reason why it sort of keeps emanating outwards, and it keeps changing, but it keeps being strong.
The flexibility of a market stall and the eclectic mix of visitors attracted to Camden Market every weekend made ideal conditions in which to start an emerging fashion business. By the mid-80s, the Daily Express had named Camden Lock London's trendiest Sunday hangout, stating that many of Britain's top designers started out with stalls here.
I think Camden is the staple market, if you like, for fashion and music, and also a culture that it infuses both of that together. Not many parts of London have all of that kind of factors melted into one.
In addition to music and fashion, Camden Market is also known for the food it offers. While Camden may not be known for its fancy restaurants, it is recognised worldwide for its market, filled with a diverse array of stalls with delicious food from a multitude of cultures.
The Camden Market, I would say, is a melting pot, like a cultural mix of thousands of culture, for food, for textile, for bags, for people.
So there is a Spanish guy, Turkish guy, a French guy, an Israeli girl. There is everything. It's absolutely amazing. So this is the best part of Camden, yeah.
And I think this, all the soul you can feel in the place makes people coming.
I think it is the energy. Love, empathy, energy, and just you have to be open to people, seriously. So there is no judgment here. No, that's why this place is amazing. No judgment at all.
And also very artisanal, so there are small producers who produce nice stuff. It's not very corporate.
The culture of Camden is diverse and dynamic. It combines a variety of different cultures and backgrounds to form a new, unique culture of its own. Because of the many factors that go into Camden's culture, it is always changing.
It's cool, but it's changed, isn't it? Like, when I was younger and I used to come to Camden, like, there was none of this shit. It was all, like, small, like, alternative stalls, innit? And that was cool, and that's still there, innit? But it's gone a bit. You know what I mean? It died. Yeah, it's gone, innit? But we're still here, innit? Like, we're still here on the fucking corner getting pissed. Like.
What feeds into a culture in a place like Camden Town? Does it work in rebellion to what was there before, like it being a very industrial place? Well, it's very organic. Things just kept happening within and then blossoming and changing, and some of it looked completely different. But that's the pleasure of living in Camden Town, watching that.
Camden is constantly evolving and challenging the classic culture of central London and developing a culture of its own, which makes it an interesting place for locals and tourists alike to visit.
Camden is definitely an alternative place to come to see compared to Central London. Central London, I think it's a nice place, but it's also a kind of posh place.
Camden Town is not posh.
Different and a bit eccentric, but also unusual, I'll put it like that.
Different, I would say. That's what I would say. It's different. Everyone looks a bit different from each other.
Camden Town is nestled within the larger London in a relationship to the way other big cities kind of reach out and grab communities and develop. By luck, it plays a very large role, and it's that Londoners did it. Londoners came to Camden Town from other parts of London. And I just stress the fact that it's lovely that it wasn't imposed from above. It was imposed from ground roots up.
As people continue to go to Camden to express themselves through arts, music and fashion, Camden continues to keep its artistic core throughout its expansion and is steadily climbing the list of the most interesting and exciting places to visit in London.